Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name's Donis, and I'm going to be your host for today. I welcome you all into our community. Oh, it's like, talk about community. Woo! We started out the new year with an amazing live in-person event, which, all of us, gosh, I've missed it so terribly since COVID, and now we're kind of getting back into the swing of things. And then uh, our core group who leads our community, Lisa, Dawn, June, myself, and a couple of other ladies, we went to an ocean resort and we spent there and just it's like wow, coming off in a most incredible high energy in-person event and then having a beautiful sisterhood. Woo woo, it's like join us, be part of our group, be part of our community. You'll love it, at least from my heart. I love it. You've got to love it as much as I do. So I'm going to share my screen. There it is. And we have some incredible live speakers for you in our 5-day challenge this week. Today, we have the amazing Lorna Sherland and other ladies throughout the week, ending with Mel Mason on Friday, I believe. And so, let's see here. Housekeeping. For the next 5 days, we're going to start at noon. And Lisa and I and June all come from kind of a corporate background, so we do love to start right on time. So please join us, commit to being here and being live with us if you can. If not, if you you can get the recordings in the Zoom. If you join our VIP, then they'll be there for you in our library for as long as there's a library. Um, the second, okay. Please, Lisa will assign homework every day. That homework is important and it will increase your cash flow immediately. We do have the daily prize every day, but you must put your full name, first and last name, to be eligible to be on the wheel, and you must be present to win. If you want to be part of our community and be an affiliate, please use the QR code and become an affiliate. Invite your buddies and your friends to be part of our community with us. The VIP upgrade, Lisa, what is it? $27 a month? Is that right?
The VIP is
Okay.
$17.87.
All
My
right.
very first commission check that I ever got.
That's an incredible yeah affirmation there that we're going to get lots of guests and lots of firsts here. So okay, um we please put your information in the chat. Our purpose here is, find a buddy, have an accountability system, make a new connection with someone. And that's another beautiful component of our community here. We love the interaction, finding, someone that, make a new friend. And that's what it's all about. Okay, stick around till the end. Every day we will give away a $20 Amazon gift card. And then on Friday, oh my gosh, you get to choose where you want to go on a vacation from 3 to 7 nights, depending on the end location, your destination. But again, you must put your first and last names in there and be present to win. So do carve out time each day this week and spend that time with us. Oh my gosh, I get to introduce my Lisa. This woman has changed my life. She's my friend, my mentor, my business partner. My husband's an entertainer. Most of you know that. And of course, we lost 16 months of paychecks with COVID. So Lisa brought me into this environment. I love it. It has become my passion. And now the beautiful thing is, I get to spend a life's journey with people that I love. So, Lisa, thank you.
Oh, I love you too, my dear. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited that you are here for us with our Wealth Creator Challenge. We cannot tell you how much this community has meant to us. This group has been together now. Gosh, there's some of us that have been together for years. There's some of us that have only been part of our community for a couple of months. And I want to just invite you to consider something. There's a lot of places you could be at. Here in California, it's 12 noon, it's lunch hour for a lot of my friends that are still in their corporate world like I was for decades. 3 decades, by the way, I spent. I'm a recovered corporate executive. You'll hear a little bit more about that story later. But friends, there's a lot of places you could choose to spend your time. It's the beginning of the year. Anyone have financial goals that they've created for themselves? How many of us have some financial goals? I see my partner Lorna high-fiving me. I know that every single one of us has them. There's three things that people focus on when they have goals, and it happens every year, right? There's three areas. There's financial goals, there's health goals, there's spiritual goals. There's what we like to call relationship with self. My Heavenly Father is my most important relationship. We talk about in our community here that we're changed most by the people that we surround ourselves with, the people that we're blessed to fellowship with, and the books that we read. My very favorite book, I'm going to share two with you today. I share a lot of them, but I'm going to share two with you. Well, the number one book that I always share is my Bible. So, friends, if you don't have a Bible, can you please put your address in the chat? I would love to send you a Bible. This book has changed my life, whether you look at this book as a great work of history, or the literal transformation and words of God that will transform your life. However you look at it, friends, I want to invite you to consider there's things that you can learn there, right? I want you to consider that raising your financial IQ overall can help your life be more financially sound, bring financial peace to your life. How many of us have perhaps joined a gym in the past at the beginning of the year, right? Or made a list of things that we wanted to do financially. And we get to that week one, we're doing good, we feel strong. I've joined a few too many gyms in my past personally, right? And then it seems we get to week three, week four, and we've sort of lost momentum for those goals. So that is what our community is about, my friends. We want to support you in your life journey with your relationship, in your faith. And we believe that there is no recession in heaven. We don't believe there's budgets in heaven or lack of financial peace. We believe that we are meant to prosper. We believe that every single one of you is God's very best idea. And it's a plan that's meant to have abundance in your life. Donis was just sharing, we are all humming right now because we just got off our first big event of the year, which we have many of them. I know some of you joined us online. Those of you that we saw in person, it was so nice to give you a hug and just see your beautiful faces and your smiles. What I found so exhilarating this weekend was many of you came into our event here in Orange County, and it was your second or third time, and what I loved seeing was that it was people coming home. It was like a reunion of a fellowship. So, friends, if you haven't had an opportunity to join one of our live events, make sure that you watch for those events. Our next big one is going to be next weekend in Fort Lauderdale. So, for those of you that maybe are close to that area, you are invited to be my guest and go and fellowship and meet some of our fellow wealth creators. And we have them at least every couple months. So just be watching for those. So I would love to know in the chat, first of all, I hope most of you are here because you have some financial goals this year. Okay. I want to have you put in the chat for me, if you would, what are some of those goals? We want to make sure that we are supporting those for you. Oh, I see my dad just joined. Hi, Daddy. Everyone always loves to see my dad in the audience. Dad, you better put your camera on. And friends, I want to give you some tools as we're thinking about this challenge. So in the chat, who has helped me support me with some of your financial goals? I want you to put, for example, do you have some debt relief goals? If you want to release some debt, I want you to add debt to the chat, okay? If you want to increase your cash flow, anyone want to increase cash flow this year, okay? Let's just put cash flow in the chat, okay? Let's get some enthusiasm going because guess what, friends? You're going to learn in this 5-day challenge. You're going to raise your financial IQ significantly. Who wants to get smarter when it comes to money, investing, attracting wealth to us? Empowering, how about empowering our next generation who has some children in their life, some grandchildren that realize they are not teaching them anything about money in school, right? Of all of our beautiful 50 states, this incredible country that we've been blessed to be part of, did you know that only 12 of them require financial literacy? And you know what's interesting? We just did a fiscally responsible workshop a couple weeks ago. And what we learned in that workshop is even in those schools that do require financial education, guess what they leave out? The first most important things, the first three things. They leave out tithing, they leave out savings, and they leave out taxes. What's the number one killer of wealth? It's taxes. Isn't that crazy? We are part, as you get to know our community, if you haven't, if you're new to our community, I want you to learn a little bit about our mission here. Okay. I am, as I've shared with many, I'm a recovered corporate executive. I spent 3 decades in a role that I absolutely loved. I loved what I did. I found people jobs for a living. I was changing people's lives every single day. I was blessed financially. I met my husband in that industry. But I found myself, we were just talking about this earlier today. Has anyone found themselves in a position where they look around the room and they can't remember the last time they learned something new? They can't remember the last time they felt fired up, invigorated. We learned today or this past weekend about, one of the core human needs is growth. And learning is a huge part of that, right? I remember when I first came to a workshop very similar to the one that you've said yes to this week. I remember just thinking, I was sitting in this room and I was thinking, I haven't learned any of these things. I have 2 financial advisors. Why haven't they shown me any of these tools to success and wealth building? Right? Why are they not teaching my children these things in school? And my friends, it's with purpose. I want you to remember that we are a community that believes we are the best idea that was created on the planet. And yet we live in a world that is built by humans, the system. This is not God's world, my friends, right? And so what happens in the system, raise your hands for those of you that you were told, go to school, honey, get a good job. Make sure you have, when you sign up for that job, make sure they have good benefits. Benefits. We learned today at our workshop. Wasn't that funny, Lorna? Did you love that part where Cash was talking? Friends, when you are handed benefits, it means your freedom is taken away, right? They've got these golden handcuffs on us. Okay. My dad is here with us. Daddy is visiting from Alaska. My parents are from Alaska. Daddy comes and stays with us for 3 to 4 months a year, as did my mother before we lost her. And, my dad taught me so much about being a good steward of money, being a good saver. My dad believes, he's taught me from a very early age that life insurance is a part of wealth building. It's a part of protection for your families. My dad worked for many, many years that he's shared with me in a role that he didn't love. But why he did that was because his family was important to him, because he didn't come from wealth, but he was determined that wealth would come from him. And guess what? It has, right? My dad always worked for someone else, but he had this dream of building, and he built every single house that I ever lived in growing up in Alaska. it's such an incredible legacy that my dad has left us. And it's one of the things I love most about what the Wealth Builder community and Wealth Creator community has given me, because it's given me a place for my father to come and fellowship with me outside of church, outside of family. It's given both of us a place to learn and grow after we lost my mom, who was so important to all of us, right? And a lot of these ladies know my dad and give him a hug. He needs lots of hugs, right, ladies? We love him so much. I'm so glad you're here, Dad. So, friends, if you're new to us, we want to just welcome you. You are in the right place. You're at the right time. And if you have financial goals that are preying on your heart this year, we are here to support you. We can't wait to help you. We can't wait to continue to help you grow. One of the most important things that we love to do is grow as people, right? Grow as people in faith, in fellowship, in friendship. We are so much better together, ladies, than apart. And I want to give you, I want to start as we often do. Many of you have heard about this book that I love to give as a gift to people. It's called I Declare by Joel Osteen. So I'm going to share my screen for a minute, and I want to invite you ladies to unmute yourselves, and let's just create this declaration over ourselves as we jump into this workshop. Okay. So on three, we're going to speak out loud our declaration for day one. 1, 2, 3. I
I
declare
declare
God's incredible blessings
incredible blessings
over
over
my
my
life.
life. I will see
I
an
will
explosion of God's goodness,
goodness,
sudden, widespreading increase.
increase,
I will
experience
experience
surpassing greatness
surpassing
of God's
greatness
grace.
of
Be
God's
elevated to a
favor.
level
I will
higher
elevate me to heights higher than
unexpected
I ever
blessings
dreamed of.
coming my way. This
Unforeseen
is my
blessings
declaration.
coming my way. This is
Amen.
my
Amen.
declaration.
Amen, sisters. I'm so excited to bring my sister Lorna to the stage with me today. Lorna, we met now, I reckon it's been about 3 years ago now. Maybe 3.5 years ago. Okay. Um, Lorna, when we first met, we were both starting this program. We didn't really know exactly what we were doing, but we knew we were excited, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and fast forward a couple years later, about a year ago, we reconnected. And we realized we found that we both had progressed tremendously in our own businesses separately. And yet we realized there was incredible alignment that we could create together as
Yeah.
partners doing different things. Lorna, my friend, is the most brilliant person I know. She comes in a room, and this girl, she knows how to attract people to her. When you're looking at Lorna, you are having she sees into the soul. She calls you on your BS. She is so good at helping me. The harmonizer and Lisa wants to do things for people, help them way too much. She's so good at helping me see where I can improve my skills and abilities. I hope I do the same for her. And Lorna, I'm just so excited about what we're creating, what we've done this past year. Tell me, as you're stepping into the new year, what are some of the things that you're excited about? What are you excited about in this community? Maybe some highlights from what you learned this weekend that you can share with our community that will help them.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Lisa, for always having me on your events. And I love this community. And thank you for having me here to speak with the community. I think that as we go into 2024, team building is going to be paramount to our success. So happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year. And here's the thing. I see 20 people in the room, and I only see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 threes, 12 people on camera. I would love, 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 love to see y'all beautiful faces because it's the new year. Hi, Shelly. Thank you for being on camera. So if anybody here isn't familiar with me, my name is Lorna Sherland. I am a leadership and transformation coach, and I'm also a real estate broker. And I help female entrepreneurs who are stuck or plateaued in their business and their life to find that next elusive step to skyrocket their business. What do I mean by all that jargon? Okay, raise of hands who's already where they're at in their life. If nothing else changes, you're hunky-dory, you're good to go. Raise of hands. How about the ones that are not on camera? You can put up your virtual hands so I could see you. All right, I don't see any hands. So what I'm hearing you say is if you could do something different in your life, right? You would do it to make your life better. And this is what this community is all about, right? And I'm the person who people call when you can't figure out how to get across that gap of where you are to where you want to be. So that's what Lisa was talking about. I'm the gap closer, okay? So here's the thing, Lisa. When I was on that call on Saturday, it was a long call, but it was a good call because there's so much that Cash gave us on that call that was like, if you took nothing else away from it, the fact that you get to change how you do business and life from what you did last year, that's what you get to do. And you got to figure that out, right? And the only way for you to do that is to look at what you did last year, look at what worked, look at what didn't work, and then come up with a plan to implement for this year, right? So a lot of it was strategy, but a lot of it was also just getting us grounded for this year and what's possible. And when I saw like Binu is making $50,000 a month from her building her business. I mean, that's like, so let me ask a question. You're on camera, and those who are off camera, I'm still going to encourage you to come on camera because here's the thing. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're not on camera, you're not in your business. You understand what I'm saying? My Jamaican's going to come out, okay? If you're not if you're not on camera, you're not in business. Because for you to be in business, you get to be visible. This is a community that we are encouraging you. We are all here to encourage you to build. And the only way to build is to be visible. How do you think TD Jakes, how do you think TD Jakes got to where he is? How do you think Joel Osteen? Lisa mentioned Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen was at the back of the room when his father was building that church. He was not visible. But when he took visibility, when his father died, the church tripled or quadrupled or some crazy stuff like that, right? So I'm just encouraging you to get on camera. Let's see you. Let people see you, because that's the only way you're going to build. Now, why am I sharing all this with you? Lisa, you wanna ask me questions? You know I could go in.
Well, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to share a visual with you for a minute, and then I want each of us to think back because we're primed right now, friends. We're primed. Every single one of us on this call, you said yes to this challenge because you personally have financial goals. Maybe
Absolutely.
you have goals also for the people in your life. I have 3 children. My oldest son, Lorna and I have talked about this many times. We sometimes want more for our children very often than they want for themselves, right? Lorna and I both, one of our biggest drivers is our sons and our daughter, my daughter, right? So think about how much more we are going to be able to empower our next generation by getting smart ourselves. I want to show you a visual. And Lorna, and everyone, I want to ask you to think back to a previous January. Okay. Who were you with? How did you feel? What goals did you create for yourselves? Did you have those physical, financial, spiritual goals for yourselves? Now, this is a picture of me actually. It was December of 2003. Okay. This is my little 6-month-old, my little 3-year-old at the time. And what this picture, it shows, oh, my little 6-month-old, he's opening, presents from his stocking. He's a happy little guy. His brother looks pretty happy. how does mama look to you ladies? You might think, oh, what a special Christmas. What you don't know, friends, is this is the Christmas that my husband had left. My husband left when Connor was 3 months old and Cameron was 3. This was a very dark time in my life. But I remember how much that those boys were my driver, right? And I had significant goals. I had tremendous support from my family and my friends. Lorna, when you think back on a time for you, and every one of us, I want us to think about where we all have a moment like this, right? And there's people that get stuck in that moment and almost get paralyzed. But then there's people that take those moments and they use it. They
Yeah.
use it to fire themselves up. They don't forget it, right? Lorna, is there a moment that comes to mind for you?
Oh, girl, I could write a book on that question. When you were talking about it and sharing that, and thanks for being so vulnerable and sharing that, Lisa. One of the things that it didn't happen when my son was that young. I mean, I could go back to but I want to relate it to finances. So in 2008, when the market was going to hell in a handbasket, as a real estate broker, my last check that I could remember coming in was about $2,400, between 24. I can't remember exactly the amount. And I had a copy of it. And when I moved, I lost it, but it was between $2,400 and $2,800. That was the last check that was going to come in before the first notice of foreclosure was going to be placed on my house. So that, my friends, imagine, and I don't know if anybody on this call has ever been in that position, but when you cannot make your mortgage payment or your car payment or whatever the payment is, it is not a good feeling, right? Am I right? Am I right? Nobody's ever been in that position, only me. But I'm sharing this with you because that was a bad, horrible feeling that I will never want to feel again. And so when that happened to me, I had to create a new me. I could not be the person that I was back then to move myself forward. I had to figure out what would move my needle. And so what that caused me to do was create another business within my business. And from there, it just skyrocketed. I was able to help people because I had to hire a team to help me. Once I started a new business, solved a new problem in real estate, right? And then it got so big, I couldn't do it by myself, which is why we're all here as a team.
Yeah.
Can't do it by yourself. Yeah. So then I had to create the momentum with the team. And that business built to like $15,000 a month, right? So I'm here to
she said 2 things. I want you to put in the chat, friends. If new me resonates with you, type in the chat new me. Okay. I want you to think about and she said also team. What I think about when I think team is I think people like Lorna, they know more than I do in certain areas. I know more than she does in certain areas. We leverage one another's skills and abilities. Guess what? Lorna has 2 hands. Put up your 2 hands. I have 2 hands. Everyone put up their 2 hands. Look at how many hands we have. Women, my mother always told me, honey, whenever you do anything, it's so much better when you go 2 by 2. More than just your 2 hands, right? It's a
Can I share something real quick? Can I share something real quick? Because you said 2 by 2. I love God and I love the Bible. Okay, guys, the Bible is such a metaphor for living. I think once and you can believe in whatever you want to believe. I'm just sharing what my belief is. But if you notice when if Noah, when God told Noah to build the ark, he told him to take them 2 by 2. And it's so funny. I do like 4 miles about 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 times a day, not day, a week. And I walk around a lake and there's some ducks, and I always saw the ducks going 2 by 2. And I'm going, huh. And they go 2 by 2. However, they go 2 by 2 and then they form, all of a sudden you see one big group of them. on the lake. It's just fascinating. I share this with you to say, find a buddy. If you really want to build this, if you really want to build this team, this is a team, but within the team, find your buddy to latch onto, to lock arms with, and grow and build together. That's all I want to add in there.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh, it's one of the most challenging things as an entrepreneur, wouldn't you say, Lorna, is it can feel very lonely. It can feel like, am I the only one? Especially, my friends, if you're in a situation right now where I was 5 years ago, when I first just started tiptoeing into this entrepreneurial world. And I started sharing with one of my, some of my close circle friends what I was learning. I thought for sure, oh, they're going to be just as excited as me. And they rejected me. They didn't want to listen. I remember going into a New Year's party. Tell me if this resonates, Lorna. My first year in my entrepreneurial journey, and we were all about vision. What do you want? What do you want your life to be like in the coming year? What are goals you have? And this was not a new practice to me, but more a practice that I got to revisit to my life. And I remember going to a New Year's party and asking a couple of my friends, what are you excited about this year? Do you know, it was like, it was like a deer in the headlights, because they hadn't put thought into it. There wasn't purpose behind their life. Now, I'm not saying they're not leading a purposeful life, but I'm saying there was more left in the tank that they hadn't really
Tapped into.
used to their fullest. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I say more about that? Because
Absolutely. Yeah.
you said my word, girl. You said my word. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
Guys, the scripture says, without a vision, the people perish. That did not mean that you're going to die. It just means that you're not going to live in the way that you were meant to live. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
the question becomes, what is the vision that you have for, choose a couple of areas. Sometimes it gets overwhelming if you choose too many. So pick 3 areas of your life right now. I'm going to invite you into this. Grab a pen and paper. Grab a pen and paper and just take a minute. Lisa, do we have time to give them just 1 minute?
Yes.
And what I would love to
Absolutely.
invite you guys into, and I could go into this deeper, but if you're in this community, you're also in my community, likely. And I talk about vision all the time. So if you want to hear more about vision and how to create it and how to live it, just jump on. Anytime you see me and you see Lisa, just get in, right? But for this minute, I would love you to take out a pen and paper and just write down 3 areas of your life that you really, really want to handle. I'm not going to say tackle. Notice my language. You really want to handle this year. Okay? Write down those 3. And then your homework, in addition to Lisa's homework, is to sit down and journal. When I say journal, you don't have to write a whole book, but write at least a couple of paragraphs. What would it look like if the vision for that area of your life was successful? So let's say finances. We're talking about finances, right? Because we're building a business. What's the money going to do for you? When you decide what the money is going to do for you, how will you feel? What does it look like? Where are you going? Who are you being with? Who are you hanging around? Where do you live? What are you enjoying? Right? Let's say if it was financial, what is the money going to do for you? That's building a vision for your finances. Who are you going to leave a legacy to? How much are you going to invest? See what I mean? So pick 3 areas, right? There's usually 5, I think, Lisa, or 6 areas: finance, spirituality, health, right? Just pick those and really intentionally focus on them, because focus is a key, right? And write the vision for each area of your life that's important to you. Okay? Can you raise
Let's
your
take a
hands?
minute.
Can
Let's
we
take
get
a
up?
minute and do this, my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you're writing these down, I want to invite you to also consider that you get to let go of self-sabotaging statements that you make to yourself, right? Because that, my friends, is the number one killer of dreams, is these self-sabotaging, limiting ideas, whoever, wherever we got them, we all have them, right? So let's take a minute to do that. No negative self-talk allowed. You're right. Absolutely. I love, as you're writing, I want to also share with you to consider that this gets to be your financial gym that you're committed to coming to for yourself. If financial goals are part of those three things, we have an answer for you, right? We have an answer for you. So
I'm going to give them one
Lorna,
more minute.
Yep, one more minute.
Yeah. Because I want to jump on that procrastination, because procrastination is part of the gap
Yep.
that's in the way. Remember how I said there's a gap in where you are to where you want to go? So I just want to, is everybody complete with picking the three?
Do we have
Yeah, raise a
three?
hand so we can know that where you're at. Raise your hands if you're complete picking the three. And if you need support, just ask us so we can answer your questions. Nancy, are you good? I'm not seeing your hand. And Gabby, are you good? You picked your
Deanna, are
three?
you good? I know she might be driving or walking.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. Oh, hi, Stephanie. How you doing? I can't see you, but I saw your hand. That's amazing. So here's the thing. I'm going to share with you and see if any of this resonates with you. Procrastination is one of the thieves, as Lisa says, of our dreams, right? That causes your self-sabotage. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention. You see, awareness is one of the first keys to transformation. When you become aware of what's getting in your way, now you are responsible for how you respond to the awareness that you're now aware of. Sounds like a whole bunch of mix up, right? But think about it. If you're procrastinating, you now know that self-sabotage is caused by procrastination. How do you get to respond? Right? So you get to decide that for yourself, because that decision is going to move you forward. It's going to move you into inspired action, which is why it's so important. I'm going to close the loop. It's so important to have a vision for all the areas of your life, because it has to be attached to something that's going to move you forward. You see what I mean? Because the procrastination is a human behavior. It's going to come up. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. It happens to Tony Robbins, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to put myself on a line and say it happened to Jesus. Can I tell you when? When he was going to the cross, right? He took a breath and he said to God, if it's possible, can you take this one away?
Take
Remember
this
that?
burden. Yeah,
You remember that? So
absolutely.
I'm gonna go that far. I'm gonna go that far. It's a human experience. So the key is, how do you manage it? Yes. So I just wanted to share
And
that
let's
with you.
talk about, let's also talk about, so you mentioned Tony Robbins. This when everyone starts a new year, self-development is a huge part of what people focus on. And we were just talking about this weekend, where I am a huge lover of self-development to begin with. And how many of you have gone to maybe a Tony Robbins event, maybe a Dean Graziosi event? Lorna and I met in the Shanna Sumter community. Amazing community of people. Many of us right now are doing the Wisdom Challenge. By the way, I'm going to bring this up, my friends.
Yeah.
If you are seeking
Wisdom.
the wisdom of God in your life right now, I'm going to share my screen with you. If you haven't heard about this Wisdom Challenge, we're day 8 into the Wisdom Challenge. This whole month, Pedro Adele, one of my mentors, is sharing wisdom from the book of Proverbs and how we can apply it to our lives. As pastors and prophets from all walks of life, Joel Osteen included, is going to be one of the guest speakers. My friends, this community, so many of us are doing this right now together, starting your day seeking wisdom. And I am telling you, there is something so powerful when a group of people are in communion and doing the same thing. Now, let me explain something to you. Now you have, whether it be this wisdom challenge or Tony Robbins event, what often happens for these people is they walk away from these events, and now they're like, but now what? Where do I apply this? Okay, where do I apply this? And this is what's so beautiful about our community. We have a business. This week we are teaching you. It's hard to fit a lot in 5 days and 5 hours, right? But what we're giving you this week is a taste and see of what it looks like to be a financial coach, a licensed professional. Most of us in our community have a life and health license, for example, which people think, what do you mean life and health? I don't want to sell insurance. I don't want to, create financial plans for people, my friends. It is just simply a license. How many coaches on this call are certified, for example? Consider it another certification. But in this case, truly, my friends, it is a license to build wealth. And the goal of this week, Lorna, you and I, we love to share with people what we're teaching them, right? Because this week they're getting a taste and see, they're learning 5 ways to increase their cash flow, literally this week. We had, I think, our record for one of our students in one of our challenges last year was increasing her cash flow by $1,200 a month. Just in that 1 week of challenge, because we're teaching you how to pay less in taxes. We're showing you how to teach others how to pay less in taxes, how to do better with health insurance, how to do better as a community, being part of a community, locking arms together. We're tackling the debt crisis in our country, and we're teaching people how to really in-source their money, how to be fiscally responsible, how to invest like the wealthy. This community has taught me so much personally. Lorna talked about the 2008 crash. Let's talk about that for a minute, Lorna, because you're in a lot of ways, you have tremendously diversified your income, but you are still in real estate, which is now, it's everything that happened in 2008, my friends. There's indicators. There's 3 main indicators in the economy that has happened exactly, not only like 2008, but like 2000 during the dot-com crash, right? It should be called a dot bomb because it was, So what's different with Lorna now is she doesn't have all her income in one basket, right?
Yep.
She's diversified. She's leveraged. Lorna, how powerful is it to think, man, I've not just said yes to a company that's doing good things, but I've said yes to a system that's already been built for me. I don't need to do it all, right?
You have no idea. Listen, let me tell you something. Building, a business is no small feat, right? Which is why most people, the average, it's said based on statistics, the average entrepreneur or new business goes out of business in 5 years, right?
Yes.
One of the reasons I believe that happens is because, one, they're doing it on their own. That's number one. There's no team, there's no accountability, there's no support. And two, it's like it's eggs in one basket, right? And one of the things heard it just it was Suzanne Evans. Suzanne said last week, success leaves clues. And by the way, Cash said it on Saturday. Success leaves clues, right? So what does that mean? That means that you got to look for people who are doing the things you want to do, who have succeeded at the things that you want to succeed at, right? And so when saying so, now you get to look and see, well, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? That's how I look at it. What are they doing that I'm not doing? One of the mistakes I made up until last year, actually, is that I only had one stream of income. That doesn't work. Because if anything happens, it's all downhill, right? But then I remembered, and I've been listening, but not hearing. By the way, 2 different things. Warren Buffett always said, Warren Buffett is probably the only one who diversifies, but because all the other business people will tell you do not diversify. Well, how are you going to live if you don't diversify, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, whatever you're doing, you get to figure out for yourselves, and this is an opportunity for you. If you're new to our team, to consider joining the team as another stream of income. We are always talking about multiple streams of income so that you are protected. It's not anything more than protecting yourself and protecting your legacy. Okay, so that's what I
Absolutely.
would have to say about that.
It's funny because our business really is very simple. We are an Amazon, but instead of retail products, we have financial products. Now let's talk about just this alone, my friends. So not only you're telling me, Lorna, then we have a community. So we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. We have systems that have been built for us. We have multiple millionaires and billionaires that have gone before us and now are asking us, are inviting us to follow their footsteps. Copy the right cat, my friends, right? And then I want to add another thing that I think, and I'm going to share this visual with you, and I want to share something with you. And Lorna, I really want you to speak into this because one thing I've seen just in the last year about you is that you have found your kingdom calling, in my opinion. And let me share more about this. What I believe, every one of us, I believe, has the same kingdom calling. And what I mean by that is, however you chose your career, most of us accidentally landed in it. Raise of hands for those of you that accidentally landed where you made a living for decades like me.
Absolutely.
I happen to love it, thank God, but that's 90% of people accidentally land where they are. They get going, they learn for a period of time, and then they stop growing. But guess what? Now they have these golden handcuffs, right? And isn't it interesting? Have you ever thought about your college degree or high school diploma? It's like a certificate of completion, as though your learning is done. How crazy is that? Now, I want to invite you to consider that we all have the same kingdom calling. My personal belief is part of that calling is sharing the good news. And secondly, to create an impact on the lives of others. And my friends, coaching, I mean, whatever flavor of coaching you choose, whether it's vision, whether it's marketing, sales, there's so many types of coaching. We do financial coaching, but really what we're doing is we're building people. And there is no higher calling than making an impact on the lives of others. Lorna, I want your opinion about that because I personally have seen a shift just in you and how you're serving your community, because I believe that you've really, really that's come home for you.
At the end of the day, that is all it is. That's why we are all here. What came to me as you were sharing that is each one teach one. And each one teach one is great. And we're in a time right now, especially in this world, in this country, where we get to create more impact. So creating more impact now means we get to each one impact many, right? So that's the calling I've taken on, right? Which is why Lisa and I do these events, because that's just going to support getting the information out there for people to implement. And I want to touch on one other thing. I have made a note on my notes for this, and you just said it, which is perfect. So a lot of us, myself included, we go to a lot of training, right? We go to a ton of training. Even as, I'm sure team members on here can relate to this. We go to a lot of training. But what would it look like if we go to these trainings to learn to implement, right? We're learning to implement. And once you make that decision to go all in, it's learning to integrate integrating all the things that we are hearing right here. And I just wanted to bring it up right now. It may be a little bit off topic, but I wanted to bring it up right here, right now, because it came up and you said it. You said the word implement. We get to implement all the things that we're talking about here, the little things we're talking about in terms of vision, the little things we talk about in terms of getting clear on what it looks like, the little things we're talking about with building the team, building yourself first, building the team, and moving it in stages. It's all systematic. Somebody said in the chat, it's systems, right? So implementing the system, because it's already built for us, it's going to get us more impact. It's going to get us more results faster. I just wanted to bring that up because we
100%.
can learn. So it's like a three-tiered thing, right? We learn to implement, we learn to integrate. It's the integration that's going to get us the results, right? So taking on all the stuff that Lisa is teaching and creating impact is going to come from the integration of all the things you're doing, right? So
yes, and let's talk about, you know, because today is really just we're getting started, right? We're starting the first day of the challenge. Let me give you your very first cash flow tip, okay? Raise of hands for those of you. So we already know we all have financial goals this year. Raise of hands for you that know someone that has financial goals this year. We all should raise our hands. Now, whether they've told us this or not, my friends, I promise you, every single person you know has things that they're on their list this year. So number one tip, my friends, you know people we don't know, and we pay really, really well for those referrals, okay? We pay so well for those referrals. So I realize I still have my cash for Christmas notes here, but that we are still we're paying the credit card for the cash we spent on Christmas, right? So friends, as we are wrapping up today, I want to invite you to bring a buddy with you tomorrow. Number one homework, right? Number one homework is if you haven't already, you're going to write those 3 things down that Lorna talked about. How are you going to move the needle in your life? What are those 3 areas? And take some time to journal about this. I am telling you, friends, I started journaling. I've done it off and on in my life, but I really became a diligent journaler about a year ago. And what's happened in my personal life, what's happened in my professional life in the last year, God has 100x'd my business and my personal life. And I think personally, it was partly because I slowed down. I took a step back and I really got, as Lorna talked about, focused on what I was going to accomplish. So my friends, bring a buddy, send a text. I challenge you all to text a friend literally as soon as you get off this call. Do you have any financial goals, this year? I'm doing a workshop this week. Come and play with me, right? Let's do it together. We're so much better together. Many of you, one of the things that we're going to be doing this week is we're introducing you to one of our affiliate partners. It's a company called A Better Life, okay? And a raise of hands for those of you that are familiar with affiliate marketing. How many of you are affiliates? Maybe you already have an income stream that is, that is paying you that mailbox money, like we like to say, right? So tomorrow we're gonna dive deeper into how we are eradicating debt and getting paid to do it. How we are solving one of the biggest crises in our country, the tax crisis. How we're solving, personally, I think the number one challenge in our world, the lack of community in our world. We're going to continue. You can already tell just from today what our community has brought all of us and is bringing others. We're gonna learn about health insurance and how we can provide better health insurance for ourselves and our families. And we're going to learn about how you can take those simple concepts and you can apply it to your own life, and you can create incredible revenue. You can create abundance in your life. My friends, if you are one that feels alone as you're starting the year in your financial goals, in your personal goals, in your spiritual goals, you are not alone. You're not meant to be alone, right? And so you're going to learn about how you can continue to be part of this community. At the end of this workshop, you're not going to get a big offer for a package that's tens of thousands of dollars. You are going to be invited to continue with us in our very, very basic membership, which is going to show you how to build your community, how to build your income with us, because our system's already been built. It's very simple. But the one thing that we've added as a layer on top is the community building, which we think most of us could benefit from. So Lorna, before we wrap, and I'm going to pass the baton to June to do our drawing, do you have any last thoughts for our crew today?
Well, again, thank you, Lisa, for having me on. It's been an honor to serve your community. And the one thing I would want to say to everyone here is stay in the game. Life is a game, guys. If you look at, that's how I look at life. It is a game. The question is, are you playing? And are you playing to win? Right? And
Amen.
you get to look at what winning looks like for you, right? Because that's going to keep you in the game. All right. That's what I got.
I love it. Thank you, sister. I love you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Who's our lucky winner today, Miss June?
All right,
There is a $20 gift card, Amazon gift card coming to our winner. Who is the lucky winner today? Kira?
I can't pronounce it.
Hyara? Spell it. How do you say your name, my beautiful friend? Are they still here? They do have to be present to win. Oh, they jumped off. Oh my goodness, June, we get to speak it. We get to do it again. Or are they still here? I don't think they are. I didn't see them.
I don't see her. So June, you got to spin again.
Okay. Oh, just on the cusp. Who did it? Dan, my father. He is such a lucky guy. I tell you what.
I love it.
He's telling me you got to spin again, June.
He's
so generous. Okay, Daddy. He is getting free room and board for a couple months here, actually.
Dr. Stephanie Keys.
Dr.
Stephanie,
congratulations.
Well, we should make a rule. You gotta be on camera to win.
Okay, but you know what?
That should be another one.
This is why I haven't been able to get myself together yet today. But I'm so excited.
Yay, Stephanie.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner.
Please make sure you put your phone number in the chat for us, because you'll be getting a text with a $20 gift card. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Stephanie. It's great to see you.
So good to see you. This was so good. Thank you.
Good. Well, we're so grateful you carved out time. The corporate girl in me likes to end on time. It's 12:58 here in California, my friends. Blessings to you in this amazing life journey. Come and join us tomorrow. Be watching. There is a portal link that you'll get. For those of us that are watching this on recording, make sure you do your homework. You are going to get a little worksheet that's going to ask you, where is your income coming from today, right now? And evaluating, does it make sense to add another income stream to your lives? You get a free gift from Lorna. Make sure you download her free gift. And we are so excited to see you tomorrow, everybody. Blessings, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Do your homework and join the
31-day
challenge as well.